Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So we have a couple of topics to get into today, and we're going to get right into the first one here. And this is coming to us from Financial Times, or FT.com. Microsoft plans mobile game app store to rival Apple and Google. Xbox boss Phil Spencer says new app store could launch as soon as next year. Now, if you've been following this saga of Microsoft trying to acquire Activision Blizzard, this may not be much of a surprise to you, but it is interesting to get some actual statements here from Phil Spencer. And you may wonder why Microsoft would try to compete in the mobile market with their own store when Google already has the Play Store and Apple has their app store already bundled in on the phones and kind of have a lock on that. Well, the article here explains a little bit of that. It says, new rules requiring Apple and Google to open up their mobile platforms to app stores owned and operated by other companies are expected to come into force from March 2024 under the EU's Digital Markets Act. Now, this act was signed into law by the European Parliament back in September of 2022 and will go into place actually in May on the 2nd. Now, the law identifies what they call digital gatekeepers who are accused of using their power to prevent any other company from taking part in digital sales. And this would force Google and Apple to open up their platforms for other app stores. Now, a digital gatekeeper would have to be identified before this could be enforced. So with this act going into effect on May 2nd, it would take until basically March 6th of 2024 for this to be enforced. And as I mentioned earlier, Financial Times has some comments here from Phil Spencer. He said, we want to be in a position to offer Xbox and content from both us and our third-party partners across any screen where someone would want to play. Today, we can do that on mobile devices, but we want to build towards a world that we think will be coming where those devices are opened up. And Microsoft working on acquiring Activision Blizzard kind of fits into this plan because there's a third company that sometimes we leave off, which is King. And King is the creator of Candy Crush. So you add that in with some of the other mobile titles. You've got Candy Crush along with all its variants. You've got Call of Duty Mobile and Hearthstone are all in like the top 100 mobile games. So owning all of those intellectual properties would be an easy way to get into the market. Maybe they have a special version on their app store that you can only get, or perhaps the microtransactions are a little cheaper if you purchase through Microsoft or Xbox's mobile app store. So we'll keep an eye on this story. I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe a beta app get released before that March 6th date. I know on Android it's pretty easy to install apps that are not on the Play Store if you know where to get them. And then the other smaller story I wanted to get into today comes to us from blog.playstation.com. Sonic Frontiers update brings new challenge mode, photo mode, and jukebox tracks on March 22nd. Now, this isn't a whole lot, but I thought it was interesting to kind of go through some of the points of what's added here. And they're calling this update the Sights, Sounds, and Speed update. And in the photo mode, you'll be able to freely move the camera. They'll have 7 visual filters, and you can also turn on the grid in order to frame your picture. And then 2 new challenge modes that'll be available after you complete the main story campaign. And the first one is a time attack mode called Cyberspace Challenge, and this will consist of 7 stages. And then there'll be a battle rush, which is a timed battle mode where you can rapidly defeat multiple rounds of enemies. And then the final item in this update is a jukebox. So you'll be able to change the music while you're on the island. and you'll be able to listen to any of the 53 songs, but you only start off with 13 of those, and you unlock the remaining 40 by collecting these sound memories on each island. So no major new content updates here, but there still are 2 remaining updates that will add at least new features, challenges, and playable characters. So let me know what you think about these new features. I guess it's good that the time attack mode and battle rush are opened up after the game is completed, because I would think most people would probably have already completed this game if they bought it when it came out. I do find it kind of odd that the jukebox requires you to collect these sound memories all over the island. It seems like that would have been something nice to have had already in place in your first playthrough of the game. And that's all we have for today. Did anything that we cover catch your attention? And if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't yet, consider subscribing and you can get more of these videos into your feed. I want to thank you for watching and be good.